Hello, I'm pleased to share that construction on our new Mercyhealth Hospital and Medical Center campus on I-90 and Riverside Boulevard in Rockford is moving along quickly, and we're on target to open our Women's and Children's Hospital, Adult Hospital, and Medical Center campus in January of 2019. We'll be moving into our new facility a year from now. At Mercyhealth, we have a passion for healing and providing exceptional care to our patients, especially our youngest of patients. Our research has shown that patients heal faster in an environment that includes elements of nature. That is why this legacy facility incorporates lots of natural light, warm colors, natural textures, and inviting surroundings. There are many spaces in the building that are uniquely designed to help our youngest patients feel comfortable and heal faster. One space that I'm very excited about is our Rooftop Healing Garden, a huge 45,000 square foot space that will be visible from both the north and the south hospital buildings. This space will include an area for our young patients and their families to go outside, get fresh air, play, read a book, or just spend time together outside of the hospital walls. Whether our patients are outside relaxing in the garden or simply looking out the window at the plants and flowers, the rooftop garden will promote healing and a sense of well-being for everyone to enjoy. Now is an exciting time to walk through the building as all of the steel is up, but the sheetrock isn't complete yet. And the view from the rooftop is simply amazing. And watch to learn more about the unique design features of our hospital and see how construction is progressing as we build a healthy future for the greater Rockford region.
Hi, my name is Matt Sanders. I'm one of the lead architects for this project, and this is?
I'm Tom Simon. I'm the General Superintendent for Mortensen Construction. I'm overseeing all field operations for the project.
So we're standing today actually where the main drop-off will be we're close to the main drop-off for the adult and the clinic services for the building. So far in the last 12 months, we've made a lot of progress on the enclosure of the building. The majority of the enclosure is about done. How far?
We're about 85% done with the hospital enclosure. We're working on curtain wall systems in the clinic building. We're completing the masonry operation here on the northeast side of the clinic. The unitize is moving forward on the east side, and they're going to wrap around the kind of the northwest side, and then we'll be done with the major unitize system related to the installation of the curtain wall. And then we're kind of going into the stick framing, which really is the elements in the major entryways here on the east side, and then the women's and children's entrance on the north side of the facility. A lot of the site work is we're kind of making a big site. It's a 70-acre site. We're making it small. A lot of the parking lots are going in. Mercy Way, which is the roadway that comes off of Riverside, all that work is ongoing, and we'll move forward here into the fall and early winters. We're installing parking lots, roads, lights, and kind of making a big site small, if you will.
So let me explain a little bit more about the building itself. So again, we just talked about the main entrance. This is, the space is called the dining courtyard. And so eventually this will be terraced up with a series of landscape walls and some planting and a nice stairway that takes you from the drop-off area down to the dining area. One of the great things about this site is that there was although it's the state of Illinois and it's a lot of flat land, there was some transition in the grade on this project. And so we use that to our advantage to carve this out. So no matter what level you are at within this overall facility, you're going to have some connection to nature, to natural light outside.
Kind of really works well, like Matt said, just bringing natural light into the facility and almost like a walkout in all the locations that we have as we transition around the space.
So we've actually moved into the facility now. We've come to the main doors. And when you come into the main doors, there's actually a main space, a lobby. And this is the adult lobby. The children's will come through, and actually it's above us here. This is a quick rendering of it. And really, when you come into the door, there's a greeting desk. What's important about this space is it actually not only is the waiting space for the main hospital, it's also the connecting space for the children's, the emergency and the clinic space all together. And we really wanted to make sure that we actually front-loaded the diagram or the building so that the public circulation was at the edge of the building. And that's what you're standing in today.
This is going to be a fantastic space when it's complete. You know, it's got eastern light, so in the morning with just fantastic light, and it's just got beautiful wood panels, and I love the transition between levels. It's just going to be a really nice space. Revolving doors behind you, entry on either, you know, single door entries on either side, and we're excited about this space. It's got terrazzo floors and just kind of really neat high finish areas that and warm finishes that are kind of welcoming, which is what we're excited about as far as the execution of the work.
So behind me here is, again, is an adult lobby space. A couple of important features about this space is actually the terminus of this space, which you can kind of see drywall with a series of pipes sticking out of it right now, is actually the donor living wall. And it's a wall dedicated to the idea of life and green space and what that represents in the overall building concept. Again, you can see the space is about 3/4 of the way there. It's getting there with it being enclosed. Very soon the glass will go up on the wall, very similar to some of the other Mercy facilities throughout the region. This space is really special, again, because it's a major wayfinding device. And it also is the first introduction to the clinic and also the adult hospital patients and visitors.
We're moving forward with this area so that we get this enclosed before fall. We're looking about 6 weeks, and all this exterior perimeter work will be in place. We're transitioning, as you'll see as we move forward. We're into finishes, really into the diagnostic and testing areas of the hospital, and we'll see that as we move forward through the tour. But this is a great area.
So if you continue down the corridor, again, just to kind of give you orientation, this is the main entrance, and then emergency is about 200 feet or maybe or so down the hallway. And so it's all connected along this line. And then on the opposite of where we're at is actually the main clinic waiting space as well. So they're all connected, they're all unified in a very simplistic way to really help with wayfinding. We actually are standing in the women's and children's entrance, which is at level 2. So behind us, the green wall, which will not be green, it's actually a combination of wood, a special plaster, and it actually will be a mosaic tile kind of piece of artwork installation. The other thing, this has a pretty tall ceiling, 2 levels to this space, but it also has a kind of meandering, playful piece of sculpture or artwork that is actually being suspended from above. So this space, although it's connected to a large adult facility, it has a very pediatric sense to it and welcoming sense to this space. And we made a lot of progress, Tom, with this space. So.
Yeah, it's really evolving well and nicely. We're excited about it. It's kind of interesting. You don't, on a facility like this, get the opportunity of having 2 main entrances. This is really the women's and children's entrance. Again, we had the main entrance of the hospital earlier, and that monument's there from the main entrance really comes up right here, and it transitions right into 2 main lobbies. So it's pretty exciting for us to be able to build 2 kind of focal points and have those things just connected, so integral. We're well into overhead MEP systems. We're transitioning out of the curtain wall and enclosure elements and into finishes in this area over the course of the next several weeks and several months. This area will be the hospital itself and the clinic will be enclosed here sometime in mid-October. The elevators behind us will be operational. We're transitioning from an exterior hoist into the interior elevators and really just transitioning into finishes as we wrap up the site and enclosure and really transition into medical equipment and the operating areas and all the diagnostic and testing procedure areas that Matt was referring to on here on level 1 that's just south of us here in the area behind us. So it's a pretty exciting area.
We're excited to get it done so that we can people can experience and use it, and we can stop talking about it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's interesting. We're right at the 1 year until substantial completion for the project. Substantial completion for us is we're ready for IDPH, the Illinois Department of Public Health inspection process. That'll happen in September and October of next year through 18, September of 18 through really December, and then we transition into first patient in January 2nd really of 2019. We're really working together with the design team, with all the user groups, and really it's been a really collaborative effort, and really exciting as far as just the pace of the project and seeing this whole thing come together the way it is. So we're super excited where we're at, and we're looking forward to the next year. One of the components of our quality assurance and quality control program is our in-wall inspection process. Basically, every contractor that has a component within the wall is assigned a color. We have them paint the wall once their work is complete. And then our color is after we get city inspections and we do a review, we'll paint it white. That means it's ready to transition into drywall. And we'll do that typically in a large area. As the contractor rolls into that next area, it'll all be signed off and ready for drywall installations and going into transition into finishes.
One really great advantage that we have on this project was we were able to get the surgery level, the interventional level of the overall facility at ground level, at grade. So in other words, patients will not have to come into a building, go up an elevator and then move horizontal through the building. They will actually literally be able to walk into the front door and directly access pre-post. So what we're standing in today is one of 10 ORs, and they all vary in function and size. And we do have a couple ORs, or hybrid ORs, which provide the latest and greatest in technology, the mixture of imaging and surgery type of procedural type based rooms. Also on this floor is pre-post, pre and post recovery from surgery, and PICU, which is the space that you actually go to actually wake up from your surgery. This may be the most complicated floor in the whole facility for Tom and his team to execute.
Yeah, I would agree. Level 1 and level 2 are the more complicated of the areas. The logistics of the building has the bed tower, and the diagnostic and testing in the OR area that we're on level 2 here is under the 2-story structure. So we were able to get this under roof quite quickly. We're in an OR that's an area that's about to go into drywall. We'll be executing this drywall in this area over the course of the next just couple of weeks. So we'll transition in this area and then go right into finishes. Within 8 weeks, this area is 100% complete. The complexity of the diagnostic and testing areas, ORs, imaging areas, endoscopy, nuclear medicine, really revolves around the interface of the medical equipment. And after the medical equipment process has been selected and we transition, and really the coordination effort of how we get all that equipment to work in the room and work with the infrastructure, mechanical systems, HVAC systems, the laminar flows in the ORs, the DAS, the WAP system, which are wireless access points, all those things really integrate in every one of these rooms, in the 40 or 50 rooms on these levels, which really heightens the level of complexity relative to the coordination efforts, because we got to get it right.
There's a number of recovery rooms from surgery that are dedicated to the pediatric patients themselves. And one of the technical challenges we had on the building was taking advantage or figuring out how to take the large expansion joint columns together in creating a special piece. And this is what we call the tree. The tree is actually a space that's right adjacent to the recovery space. And as you can see, it's kind of hard to see with all the construction debris right now. But actually, the tree will be here, right behind me. I'm standing, I guess I kind of am the tree here. And this actually will be a space where the children actually could, little tricycle, they can move around. Probably no bumper cars or anything like that, but they'll have a variety of different play elements that they can use.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to the concept and grabbing a hold of that concept and making it a reality, well, relative to the construction materials and the materials that we have available and how we're going to execute the tree. I always have this vision of Disney World or at the Animal Kingdom and the living tree. So that's what I vision when I see this. So just to be a part of that and integrate elements like this into the construction process is just a fun thing. So we're excited about working on the tree.
So we are standing in one of the 8 nursing units. This is the patient corridor. The patient corridors are organized to provide a different level of care depending on which type of patient or the level of the severity of the patient itself. There's a number of things that are special about these nursing units. One is they're all private rooms, which is key. They have sleeping accommodations for family. They also, behind me, you also see a nursing alcove that allows for nursing to be decentralized and to be flexible depending on the number of patients you have in the nursing unit itself.
I just wanted to mention from a construction aspect, just the level of intensity relative to the above ceiling coordination. I mentioned that a couple of times about the BIM coordination and making sure that all the design elements fit in the spatial requirements or the spatial elements that we have above the ceiling line. Also that we don't impact patient care from a building function perspective, and to really minimize, so we pull a lot of the elements of the MEP systems out of the rooms and into the corridors. As you need to maintain the building, as the building gets occupied, it really limits impact to the patients.
Third level of the building is dedicated not only to the NICU, but also to PEDS and PICU as well. Most rooms are private. There are also accommodations for what we call semi-private or double rooms. This floor will be the new home to replace the current NICU that's at the Rockton campus today. This was a really exciting space for us to do for a number of different reasons. It was an opportunity for us to implement some of the current research into neonatal intensive care for those types of patients. So there's lots of different levels of care, and we'll take a really outstanding program that exists today, provide a new home, and make it even a greater program. So we're really excited about this opportunity for this space. And this level is actually, we call a green roof or a green space that actually has an accessible area for children that will actually be behind us over here. One of the challenges for any patient, specifically for a pediatric patient, is try to be normal. And this space creates that level of normalcy in your life, and that's really why we're really excited about this space. It also is an opportunity for children that maybe don't have the opportunity to come outside to be able to see out and look over more than just a roof membrane. It actually is a green space, and see nature and see things that actually benefit the healing process. And also it's an opportunity, you can see the bed towers above us, for this side of the patients on this side of the building to have something nice to look down upon, which will be really special. So we are actually standing in the typical med-surg room right now. There's not as much wall construction going on in this room yet, but that's coming very, very soon. This room, again, all the rooms are private. They have sleeping accommodations within them. They have a separate wardrobe cabinet and some other patient amenities within there, especially some adjustability and lighting and temperature control, which is really, really important for patient satisfaction. They also have oversized doors so that there's ability to move patients and equipment in and out of the room in a very effective and efficient way. And again, back to the concept of natural light and the environment around us. You can see from behind me relatively large windows that have some light control within them themselves, but it's really important to bring natural light into the space, again, to create an environment that is really enhances the idea of healing, and this facility really does do that.